In photography, there's 2 times a day that produce really good light. There's going to be golden hour and there's going to be blue hour. Blue hour is always following golden hour, and basically what that means is the sun is setting and it gives you really, really, really good light. And the same thing for the mornings. I don't technically, if I'm being honest, I don't technically know if the morning time, like golden hour look, is actually referred to as golden hour, but it's basically in essence the same time. It's when the sun is coming up and is just starting to like rise, and then blue hour is like right before the sun set or has risen. And the reason that I'm saying all of that is because whenever I wake up, and especially when I wake up before the sun has like come up, it makes me want to instantly grab my camera just because the light looks really, really good. And on top of that, it not only makes me want to just grab my camera, it also makes me want to get outside and actually shoot, which is one of the reasons why I really do like getting out or getting up early. That's probably one of the main reasons. For those of you asking, that actually is butter. Savannah and I started putting butter in our coffee, and it makes it tastes better. It's kind of like putting butter on toast, meaning if you screw the coffee up or if you screw the toast up, then butter kind of saves it. You can't go too crazy though, and when it cools, it does get kind of chunky, but you just heat it right back up and
like I say this all the time, but morning routines, or just routines in general, for me, my life revolves around routines, and I think most people's lives revolve around routines, and I'm very, very reluctant, or I change it up very, very little. Like, there aren't many things that actually enter like my morning like ritual or routine, or however you want to classify it, that actually stick. And this morning putting butter in my coffee is a good example of that. And most mornings when I don't run, I typically go on a walk. One, just to get sun and to go outside, but two, I can bring a camera and I can I can document some of it just because I really do like where we live. I think it's really pretty, and I try to go in like those like golden hour times, because the lighting is a lot better. Not just for this camera, but for any camera. Your iPhone, it looks a lot better. Also, when I first put you down, I probably spent a solid like 4 or 5 minutes trying to figure out what I'm actually going to say. I honestly didn't really. Today's one of those vlogs I don't really know what to say. I just want to make something, and that's what I'm doing. Also, this has nothing to do with what I was just talking about, but I love these kind of shots. You'll notice them all in my videos. I like that the car is in the lower third right there. It's actually a little crooked. Like, the car is in that third right there, and then you have this building that fills it out really nicely. I like these wide, really basic shots. I think it makes a really, really clean image, and yeah, I don't know. I do those a lot. It doesn't matter what camera I use. I feel like I'm always putting those in my videos. This week for us is actually the first week in probably about 2 months that we actually don't have any weddings, and that's a good thing, and that's also not a great thing. The nice thing is, like, we don't actually have to physically go work anywhere, like shooting new weddings and stuff like that, but it's also a negative thing because now all of the weddings that we have been shooting now have to be edited. So basically we spent the last couple of months shooting a bunch of like unedited content, for lack of better words, and now we have to actually sit down and edit all of that, which is challenging, but then also, like, for me at least, the most challenging part out of doing all of that is just honestly remembering what I shot. There's so many videos that they all blend together, and there's no way I'm going to remember one that I shot 2 months ago. Which, for shooting these vlogs, it's a lot easier and it's a lot faster, because a lot of times I'll shoot something and then I'll go edit it a couple hours later, if not like instantly. So it's like fresh in my mind of like when I said something, I was able to kind of like think about the edit in mind as I'm shooting it, and that makes the time of actually sitting on the computer and editing the footage that I shot a lot quicker and more efficient, just because I'm shooting only what I actually want, and like there's not a lot of fat. Most of my day is going to be me sitting on this couch. That's why it looks like a bomb went off. And yeah, also I have to show you this. The shot that you currently were just on, it looks so I think it looks cool, but the whole tripod, it looks so sketchy. Look at this. So you have the selfie stick right there, and then that's on top of an actual tripod. The whole thing was like wobbling and shaking. I think it looked cool, but yeah. Last week I did a live stream of me using and opening Lightroom on the computer for the first time, and up until that point I had done all my video or all my photo editing on my iPad, which I do love, but the more I use Lightroom on the computer, the more I see why that's still the industry standard. There's something about it. It's just a little more, there's more flexibility. It just runs a little bit faster, and your overall workflow, once you understand where everything is, it's sped. It's probably, I'm not exaggerating when I say this, it's probably doubled the amount of speed, like the speed that I'm able to go through galleries and stuff like that. I was super skeptical because in my head, I thought using a stylus or a pencil or whatever you call those, or however you want to classify. Anyway, the stylus has nothing on a mouse and keyboard. I wanted to go outside today, and I did go for a run, but it's currently raining, and it's going to be raining for the rest of the day. On top of that, they're also doing construction upstairs. They're supposed to do construction in here, but Savannah's not here, and long story short, we need both of us here because they're doing like the entire exterior of every wall, all the exterior walls. They're replacing all the drywall and stuff like that. All that being said, it's a big job, and both of us kind of need to be here, so they're not doing it today. So I'm taking the advantage, or the time that we have, to edit all those photos because I can't go outside anyway. But I do want to. Maybe I will later today if it stops raining. Look how full this coffee is. I'm really trying not to spill it right now. I don't think it's ever filled it up that much. Savannah is currently doing a photo shoot. We actually used to live around this lake, but we've since then moved. So cool thing, yesterday I had a long run, and I actually made a whole video talking about the long run, and that was actually the last video that you saw. And the entire thing, every single shot you saw, was shot completely on my DJI Osmo Pocket 3, which is really cool. Normally I would just use my phone, but I didn't want to, mostly just because well, honestly, I didn't want to really dig my phone out because it was in my little vest that I was wearing. And also too, the stabilization that iPhones really use are it's digital stabilization versus physical stabilization, and the footage looks so good with this camera running, especially like where I was holding the camera like that, and getting like kind of like a side shot. It looks so good. If you're into like running content or any kind of physical activity and you're kind of careful, using this case with the Pocket 3, in my opinion, is probably the best one. Also, I might be getting this is really nerdy, I might be getting a gaming PC tonight, maybe after this. Oh, look, a Blackhawk. I used to want to be a pilot when I was little, and that was the thing that I really wanted to fly.